Hello Stampers, this is a very easy quick card that we did at Club for March, on March 21st. It's using the new Bliss stamp that's a celebration item that you get free if you order $50 or more. You only have just a few more days for that. And we're going to be using the En Francais background stamp, which is a large stamp that covers a large area. First thing we want to do is stamp our butterflies from the Bliss stamp, and we're going to do that on a piece of cardstock. This is the Naturals white cardstock. It's been cut at 2 1/8 by 4 1/4 inches, and we're going to use the Bliss butterfly that I have already mounted to my block. This is the size C block, and we're going to stamp in 3 colors. We're going to use Night of Navy, Baja Breeze, and certainly Celery, and just stamp them right in a row. You can do it in any order that you want to. I usually start with the middle when I'm going to do 3 objects so that I can center them correctly. So I'm just going to stamp my first butterfly right there with the Baja Breeze. Now I'm going to take this piece, and I like to do a little bit of the paper piercing around the edges. So we'll do that with our matte pack and our paper piercer. And once you get that pierced all the way around, you can actually, if you want to, use your sponge and do just a little bit of sponging with Baja Breeze or Night of Navy. Not much. Now this piece gets mounted to the Night of Navy piece, and the Night of Navy piece is 2 3/8 by 4 1/2. And then I'm going to take my regular 1/4 inch hole punch, and I'm going to punch a hole on either side of the card, right about there and there. And this is what I'm going to run my ribbon through. You could use your slot punch if you wanted to. That would be cute also. And now we're going to do our En Francais piece, which is another Naturals white, which is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And the way I like to do this large stamps like this is to take my ink pad, ink up the large image, and you can just kind of either pat your pad on there or just kind of rub it around. And I'm just going to lay my cardstock on it. And lay a piece of scrap paper over it and just rub it around like that. And when you do, voila, nice and neat, and you didn't get ink everywhere and all over your hands, because the large stamps are kind of bulky to work with. Now you can do just a little bit of sponging around the edge with the Night of Navy. Now we're going to mount our En Francais piece to our green piece of cardstock, and our green piece of cardstock is for our card base. Our card base is the Baja Breeze, and I've got it folded in a portrait fold, and the next layer would be the green, and the next layer would be the En Francais. But we're going to mount the En Francais to it first so that we can wrap our ribbon around. And I'm just going to mount that with a little bit of snail on the back. Of course, a little bit for me is everywhere. Okay, now I have 3 scallop circle punches that I've cut, 1 Night of Navy, 1 Baja Breeze, and 1 certainly Celery, and I've embossed them with my Lattice embossing folder, Stampin Up Embossing folder, and I've gone ahead and run them through the Xyron so they're sticky on the back. Now those get mounted on the card, and they're going to go underneath our stamped butterflies, so just stick them around randomly. There's no exact science. If they go up to the very edge of the green, that's fine. Just don't let them go over. And just place them randomly on there. So Alright, and then we're going to take our stamped butterfly image and our piece of Baja Breeze ribbon, and I'm going to go ahead and tie that around my bow maker. And what I call my bow maker is the cardboard tube that comes out of a saran wrap or a glad wrap press and seal box. And then this end has been beefed up about 1/8 of an inch all the way around with some cardstock to make it a little bit fatter. This is for if you were going around a 5.5 inch area, and this would be for the 4 1/4. So all my ribbon, I'm using the Baja Breeze seam binding ribbon, which is very, very light and very, very soft. Then you just slide it off the tube. And if it's going to be evenly distributed, in other words, it's going to be right in the middle of your card, you can just snip it right in the very back of your loop. And cut your tails off. And this will just get fed through these little circles that we punched with our hole punch. Put your bow right in the middle. And then you take your little tails, pull them snugly through the holes. Put some adhesive on the back of this piece. Just mount that to the front of your card, just centered somewhat. And then take your ribbon and pull it around the back. And put a little adhesive on the back and press it down. And there you've got a perfect little bow tied and mounted. No one knows you didn't tie it around the card, unless they disassemble your card and look. And we're just going to use some regular adhesive, some regular snail type adhesive. And there's your quick little card. We're going to put 3 little, there's a new punch set called a punch pack. They go with the itty bitty buttons and the itty bitty stamp set. And I'm just going to put 3 of those on here on the side. I'm just going to use the next to the smallest size. And I try to kind of pick them up with my Stampin' Up! Pearls. Come in a variety of sizes. There's some real large ones. There's some in a string, and then some extra small. Now I want to make a matching envelope, so I've taken my white envelope from Stampin' Up, just a plain white envelope, and I've stamped it with the other stamp that's in the Bliss stamp set in Baja Breeze to make a coordinating envelope. In the front, I used the little butterfly, also in Baja Breeze. Hope you enjoy it. Happy stamping.